close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Let the air move slowly into your lungs, and let it leave even more slowly. With each breath, feel yourself becoming lighter, calmer, more present. Now imagine yourself walking through a place untouched by time. A monastery, ancient and silent, resting beneath the stars. Its stone walls breathe with the weight of centuries, carrying echoes of prayers whispered and forgotten. The air is cool, still, yet alive, filled with the faint scent of parchment, wood, and incense. Candles flicker in alcoves, their flames bending shadows that sway like spirits across the walls. Each step you take echoes softly on the worn stone floor, a rhythm that blends with the heartbeat of silence itself. You pass through hallways lined with wooden shelves towering toward the ceiling, each cradling manuscripts older than memory. Dust floats like tiny stars in narrow shafts of moonlight, as though the universe itself has been caught inside this forgotten library. And then, you see it. At the far end, hidden behind a heavy curtain of velvet, something waits. Your hands tremble as you reach forward, pulling the cloth away. And there, a mirror. Not ordinary glass, not polished silver, but something alive. Its surface shimmers like liquid light rippling in slow waves. Colors shift across it, blues, violets, golds, colors you cannot name, as though the spectrum itself has opened wider than human eyes were ever meant to see. You feel drawn to it. It hums softly, like the faint vibration of the universe resonating deep within your bones. This is no reflection of the world behind you. It is a doorway, a threshold, a key. You step closer, your breath shallow, your heart steady but strong. You reach out. The moment your hand touches its surface, it is not cold. It is warm, pulsing with life, like the heartbeat of creation itself. And then, with a soundless sigh, the mirror opens. The surface parts like water, and you step through. The monastery vanishes. Now you are standing in a vast corridor of light. It stretches endlessly in both directions. Floating on either side of you, suspended in space, are countless mirrors. They glow faintly, like lanterns in the night, each alive with its own shimmer. You walk slowly, your footsteps soundless, as though the floor beneath you is made of light itself. Each mirror whispers as you pass. Whispers not in words, but in feelings. You sense them. Possibilities, choices, moments that might have been or might yet be. You pause before one. It flickers with an image that feels familiar, almost like a memory. And then you hear it, a voice, not outside you, but within you. Calm, gentle, resonant. Welcome, traveler. This is the quantum mirror. Here you will see not one life, but many. Not one choice, but all choices. Not one world, but infinite possibilities. The voice fades, and you feel silence settle once again. You look at the mirror before you. It glows softly, waiting, inviting, and so, your journey begins. The first mirror glows softly, pulsing as though it breathes. I stand before it, hesitant, curious, almost afraid of what I might see. The surface ripples once, twice, then clears. And there, I see myself. Not the self I know now, but the self that chose differently long ago. The image pulls me in. I lean closer, and suddenly I am there, standing inside the mirror, inside another life. The air smells of paint and turpentine. Light filters in from a skylight above, golden and warm. I see my hands. They are stained with color, blue and red, smudges of yellow and green. Brushes rest between my fingers as though they have always belonged there. Canvases lean against. The walls, each alive with scenes of forests, oceans, and faces caught in fleeting moments of wonder. I feel a pulse of recognition. In this world, I became an artist. The strokes on the canvas are bold, yet tender, alive with emotion. I watch myself, lean back, squint, smile. There is satisfaction in the eyes of this other me. A quiet joy, not of wealth or fame, but of creation. People come to see the paintings. They pause, they tilt their heads, they feel something. My work touches them, speaks to them in ways words never could. And I realize, this is a version of me who trusted imagination more than certainty, who walked into the unknown without a map, guided only by the colors of the heart. I breathe in deeply, and the scent of paint lingers in my chest. The mirror shimmers, and suddenly the scene shifts. Now, I stand on a stage. The air vibrates with sound. Strings hum beneath my fingertips. The hall is filled with people, but in this moment, I do not feel fear. I feel connection. Every note I play travels outward, weaving itself into the hearts of strangers who are no longer strangers. There, eyes close, their bodies sway. Music has dissolved the distance between us. And I see, in this life, I was a musician, not for fame, not for fortune, but for love of sound, for the pure joy of weaving emotions into melodies that rise and fall like tides. I close my eyes and listen. The music does not end when the strings fall silent. It echoes inward, inside the chambers of the soul. The mirror shimmers again. This time, I see wide skies, endless roads, mountains rising in the distance, deserts stretching vast and golden, oceans crashing on foreign shores. In this version, I am a traveler, a poet. My backpack is light, but my heart is full. Each sunrise brings a new horizon, each sunset a poem etched into the fabric of memory. I walk through markets alive with color and sound, where spices sting the air and laughter flows like water. I sit by rivers at dusk, scribbling verses about the way the light bends on the surface, about the strangers who smiled at me that morning, about the silence that settles when the stars first appear. Here, my wealth is not in coins, but in moments, in friendships with people whose names I may never fully pronounce, in meals shared with those who welcomed me as family, in the footprints left behind on roads less traveled. And I realize this too is a version of me. One who chose not security, not permanence, but freedom. The mirror ripples once more and I step back. My heart aches, but not with regret. Instead, it aches with wonder. Wonder at how many versions of me exist, how many paths could have been. I whisper to myself, what if? What if? And then, the voice returns, soft, gentle, resonant. No choice is wasted. Every path exists. Every path matters. Even the roads you did not walk leave footprints in your soul. I stand very still, letting the words sink into me. I realize now that these versions of myself are not lost. They live within me still, in the colors I notice. At sunrise, in the way music sometimes stirs me to tears, in the restlessness that drives me to dream of distant places. They are not gone, they are here. And I understand. Even though I did not walk those roads fully, I can still carry their wisdom with me. I can still choose creativity. I can still choose freedom. I can still choose courage. The mirror grows dim. The images fade. But in my heart, they remain. The artist, the musician, the traveler, they are all me. I step back slowly, my chest heavy, my spirit awake, and I whisper, "Thank you." The corridor of mirrors is endless, yet one glows brighter than the rest. Its surface is golden, warm, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. I am drawn to it, though I feel hesitation. Something in me knows this mirror holds more than curiosity. It holds longing. I step closer. The shimmer clears and I see them. The one I once loved. The one I lost. For a long moment, I cannot breathe. Their smile is the same, gentle and disarming. Their eyes shine with that familiar light, a light that once illuminated my darkest days. And here, in this mirror, they are not gone. We are together. I feel the air of this other life wash over me as I step inside. It is morning. Sunlight spills through open windows, warming the floorboards of a simple home. I hear laughter in the kitchen, the sound of plates clinking softly. The smell of fresh bread drifts through the air, mixed with coffee and something sweet. I follow the sound, and there they are, moving gracefully, humming a melody under their breath. In this world, we never parted. We built a life together. I sit at the table, watching. Every small detail fills me with wonder. The way they tuck a stray lock of hair behind their ear. The way they pause to glance at me with affection that needs no words. Their presence is steady, warm, whole. Children's footsteps echo down the hall. Two small figures rush into the room, eyes shining, laughter bursting like bells. They throw their arms around me, calling me by a name that is both familiar and unfamiliar. Papa. Mama. The words sink into me like sunlight after years of cold. I close my eyes, holding them close. For a moment, I allow myself to believe this is real, that this is the life I have lived, that this is the life I never lost. Tears rise unbidden, yet I do not push them away. I let them fall, because this is love, pure and unfiltered. We share meals at the table. We sit by the fire at night, telling stories, laughing until our sides ache. We take walks under starlit skies, fingers intertwined, speaking dreams softly into the quiet. And I realize something. It is not the grand moments that matter most. It is these, the small ones. The way their hand rests on mine without thought. The way they look at me across a crowded room, and I understand everything without a single word. The way love is woven, not in declarations, but in the ordinary rhythm of life. The mirror shimmers again, and time passes in waves. I see us growing older together. Lines form on our faces, silver threads appear in our hair, but the love only deepens. It becomes quieter, steadier, like an ocean that has seen many storms and yet still laps the shore with patience. We sit together on a porch in the evening, watching the sun set. Their hand rests in mine, weaker now, but still warm. We do not speak, because we do not need to. Every silence between us is filled with years of shared memories. I watch this other version of me, and my heart aches for what was lost, for what might have been, for what never was. And then, the guardian's voice returns, soft, steady, compassionate. Love is infinite. Across every world, in every form, it survives. Even if it fades in one life, it flourishes in another. And within you, its flame endures. The words sink deep, and I understand. This love, though gone from my present, is not gone from me. It shaped me, changed me, carved pieces of who I am. It lives still in the way I care, in the way I hope, in the way I long. I kneel on the floor of this mirror world, overwhelmed, and then I hear a voice. Not the guardian's, but theirs. The one I loved. They say my name, softly, gently. They look at me with those same eyes, and though I know they cannot see me, I feel as though they do. Thank you, they whisper. Thank you for carrying me with you, even here, even now. The words break me, but they also mend me. I stand again, watching as this world fades into years of joy. Children grown, grandchildren laughing, love expanding across generations. I see the legacy of affection, the ripple of care that never ends. And I realize something powerful. Even in my world, where loss was real, the love itself was not wasted. It remains eternal. For once a heart has loved, it never returns to what it was before. The mirror shimmers, the image is dim, but the warmth remains. I step back, tears still wet upon my cheeks. My chest feels heavy, yet also lighter than before. And I whisper, softly, to no one and to everyone, love never dies. It changes, it transforms, but it endures in every world, in every heart, forever. I close my eyes. I let the silence hold me. I breathe, and I step away from the mirror, carrying the flame of love with me, knowing that even in this life, it still burns within me. The corridor stretches endlessly, but now another mirror calls to me. Its surface does not glow with warmth like the last one, nor with dim shadows like others. It shines with a light so pure that it feels like standing beneath the first sunrise of creation. I am drawn to it. I step closer and the image clears. And there, I see not myself, but the world. At first, it looks familiar. Continents and oceans, clouds drifting across skies. But then, as the vision sharpens, I realize this is not the Earth I know. This is the Earth that chose differently. This is the world that chose peace. I step into the mirror. The first thing I notice is the air. It is crisp, clean, alive. I take a deep breath and it feels as though every cell of my body is refreshed. The sky stretches overhead, blue so deep it seems endless, unmarred by haze or smoke. Birds wheel gracefully, their songs unbroken by the roar of machines. I look around and see a city in the distance. Its towers rise, but not with aggression. They curve gracefully, flowing like rivers of glass and stone. The buildings glisten with sunlight, covered in gardens that spill with flowers and green. Rooftops sparkle with panels that drink in the sun's light. Windows gleam with reflections of a vibrant world. There is no choking smog, no restless noise. The city hums like a living being, balanced, harmonious. I walk its streets. Children play freely, laughter echoing through plazas where fountains dance. Strangers greet each other with warmth, with nods, with smiles that do not feel forced. There is no fear in their eyes. They walk without rushing, without suspicion. Their pace is steady, as though every person has enough time. Shops open their doors not just to sell, but to share. Art spills into the streets, murals blooming with color, music played on corners by people who do not seek coins but joy. Food markets brim with abundance, fruits and grains grown from fields that stretch golden in the distance. And yet, no one hoards, no one clutches tightly while another starves. I see baskets passed from hand to hand, generosity flowing as naturally as air. I stand in awe, and the voice returns, steady, clear, resonant. This too is possible. It begins with one choice, then another. A ripple becomes a tide. Peace is not a dream. It is a way of being. I walk further into the heart of this city. There are centers not of war, not of conquest, but of knowledge. Libraries overflowing with wisdom, doors open to all. Schools where children learn, not only science and numbers, but kindness, empathy, and the art of listening. People of different cultures, colors, languages sit together, their differences not erased, but celebrated. Each one a thread in the tapestry of a shared humanity. I see a council chamber, but it is not filled with angry voices shouting for dominance. It is filled with calm dialogue. Leaders sit in circles, not thrones. Their decisions are not carved by greed, but by questions whispered softly in their hearts. What will bring the most healing? What will bring the most good? I feel tears rise, because I know this world is not impossible. It is simply the path not yet chosen. The mirror shimmers, and time flows forward. I see forests, vast and untouched, stretching across mountainsides. Animals move freely, their numbers strong, their habitats unbroken. Whales breach an ocean so clear that light travels like crystal deep into the waters. Rivers flow clean, carrying songs from mountain to sea. Human hands have not crushed these wonders. They have protected them, honored them, walked alongside them. Technology thrives, yes, but it is not an enemy of nature. It is a partner. Energy flows from the sun, the wind, the earth itself. Machines hum not with destruction, but with renewal. I look upward, and I see ships, not of war, but of exploration. Craft rising gently into the skies, not to conquer, but to learn. Space itself has become not a battlefield, but a bridge. Planets and stars are not targets, but teachers. And through it all, I see the human spirit alive with wonder, not fear. People create because they can. They share because they wish to. They live not in suspicion of one another, but in recognition. You are another me. I am another you. The voice whispers again. Peace does not mean the absence of struggle. It means the choice to rise above it. It means the courage to turn conflict into conversation and fear into trust. I walk into a quiet garden in this world. The grass is soft, the flowers bloom in radiant colors. Children run through it, laughing, chasing butterflies that dance in the sun. Elders sit in the shade, telling stories to those who gather, their voices strong with memory. I kneel in the grass, running my hands across the earth. It is alive, vibrant, unscarred, and I realize the peace of this world is not built on chance. It is built on choices, small choices, daily choices, millions of hands deciding to build rather than break, to heal rather than harm, to love rather than fear. I close my eyes, and for a moment, I feel this peace enter me. I imagine what it would mean to live this way, to choose this way, to wake each morning not asking, what can I take, but what can I give? To look at every stranger and see not a threat, but a possibility. To look at the earth and see not a resource, but a relative. I breathe slowly, deeply, letting this world imprint itself inside me. And the voice whispers once more. Do not despair that this world is not yet yours. Carry it within you. With each choice, you bring it closer. With each act of kindness, you ripple it outward. Peace begins not with nations, but with hearts. And it begins now. The garden fades. The laughter fades. The sky dims into the shimmer of the mirror. And I step back trembling, but alive with, oh, hope. I whisper softly, this world is possible. And though it is not yet, I will choose to carry its seed. Every choice I make, every word I speak, can be one thread in its creation. The mirror fades completely. The corridor returns. But in my chest, something glows. Not despair, not longing, but hope. Clear, steady, radiant. The hope of peace carried forward. The corridor grows colder as I walk. The light around me softens, dims, and then I see it. A mirror unlike the others. Its surface is cracked, jagged lines spiderwebbing across it. The glow it gives off is faint, like a dying ember. I hesitate. Every part of me resists. But I know. This mirror holds a truth I cannot ignore. Slowly, I step closer. The surface quivers and the image sharpens. At first, I see the world. Familiar, yet twisted. The skies are not blue, but gray, heavy, with smoke that never lifts. The oceans are dark, filled with debris, their waves sluggish with oil. Forests once green stand as skeletons, their trees cut down, their soil cracked. Cities sprawl endlessly, but they are broken, hollow. Towers lean, their windows shattered. Streets lie silent, except for the shuffle of weary feet. I step inside. The air is thick, harsh. Each breath scrapes the throat. The sun is hidden, veiled behind a permanent haze, and the light that filters through is not warm, but sickly. The world feels tired. I walk through the city. Buildings rise in ruins, their walls covered with graffiti that cries out in anger, in desperation. Once bustling streets are nearly empty. The few who walk here keep their eyes down, their faces hardened by survival. They clutch bags close to their chests, suspicious of every stranger. Children cling silently to their parents, eyes wide, too old for their years. I see markets, but they do not overflow with abundance. Stalls are bare, their shelves nearly empty. What little food remains is traded with trembling hands, guarded like treasure. There is no laughter, only bargaining, suspicion, fear. And I see myself, alive, but hollow. My steps are slow, my shoulders bent beneath invisible weight, my eyes tired, dim, stripped of wonder. I am surviving, but not living. Every choice I make is driven not by hope, but by fear. I follow this other version of me as they wander the streets. I see them glance at strangers with suspicion, not curiosity. I see them clutch what little they have, afraid it might be stolen. I see them pass by those who suffer, too afraid to stop, too drained to help. And the sight pierces me, because this is me. Not an enemy, not another, but me. A version of me shaped by fear, molded by scarcity, hardened by pain. The mirror trembles, and the world shifts. I see vast landscapes once filled with life, now barren. Rivers reduced to trickles of poison, their fish floating lifeless. Fields cracked and dry, crops withered before they grew. Animals wander aimlessly, thin, desperate, searching for what no longer exists. The silence is deafening. The songs of birds are gone. The rustle of forests is gone. Even the hum of insects is gone. The earth feels empty, stripped of its music, and then I hear it, the voice, not cruel, not condemning, but steady. This, too, is born of choices. Fear creates fear. Hatred feeds hatred. Greed devours itself. And yet, even in darkness, light survives. The words echo through me. I open my eyes and I see. Amid the ruin, a spark. A child kneels on the cracked pavement holding a piece of bread. Beside them, another child sits, weaker, thinner, eyes hollow. Without hesitation, the first child breaks the bread in half and offers it. The second takes it slowly, tears forming, and in that moment, something shifts. Further ahead, a woman hums a song as she cradles an infant in her arms. Her voice is soft, fragile, but steady, a lullaby against despair. The sound carries, fragile yet defiant, like a candle refusing to die. In the distance, a man bends down to help another stand. No reward, no recognition, just a hand offered, in silence. These acts are small, almost invisible against the weight of ruin, but they are there, they endure. The voice returns, gentler now. Even in the bleakest timelines, kindness survives. A single spark can light the dark. A single act can ripple outward, unseen, unknown, unstoppable. I fall to my knees. The world around me feels unbearable, and yet these sparks of kindness pierce through like stars in a moonless sky. And I realize, even here, even in this place of despair, humanity is not lost. It is bruised, battered, broken, but not lost. The mirror ripples, and I see more. I see communities forming in the rubble, people sharing what little they have, building shelters from scraps, lighting fires against the cold. I see walls painted not with anger but with color, murals of hope, of memory, of what once was and what could be again. I see eyes meeting eyes, strangers recognizing one another not as threats, but as companions in survival. And I feel something stir. Hope, fragile, trembling, but alive. The voice whispers again, its tone like a hand upon my shoulder. The future is never fully lost. As long as one person chooses compassion, the tide can turn. As long as one hand reaches to help another, the darkness cannot win. I close my eyes. The weight of sorrow presses down, but beneath it, a flame flickers. And I know this mirror is not just a warning. It is a reminder that even in the darkest possible world, the choice to love, the choice to give, the choice to care still matters, always matters. The world begins to fade, dissolving into shadow. The cracked pavement, the ruined skies, the weary faces, they blur into the shimmer of the mirror. I step back, breath trembling in my chest. Tears streak down my face, but they are not only tears of sorrow, they are tears of recognition, because I know this darkness too is possible, but so is the light that survives within it. I whisper softly, almost a prayer. Even in darkness, I will choose to be a spark. Even in despair, I will choose to hope. Even in ruin, I will choose to love. The mirror grows dim. The corridor returns. And though the air is heavy, I carry with me not despair, but determination. For now, I know. The future is fragile, yes, but it is never beyond saving. So long as kindness survives, the story is not yet over. The corridor is silent again. I walk slowly, my steps light, my heart heavy with all I have seen. The lives of creativity, the love that endured, the peace that was possible, the darkness that warned, and then I see it. At the end of the corridor, a mirror unlike the rest. It shines with a light so clear, so steady, that it feels alive with calm. Not too bright, not too dim, just enough to steady my breath, to quiet my racing thoughts. I step closer. The surface does not ripple. It welcomes. It waits, and then I see myself. Not another stranger. Not a version lost to choices I never made. Not a hollow shadow. Not a dream. But me, whole. I stare, and my breath catches. This version of me is not rich, not powerful, not famous. And yet, this version of me is radiant, calm, balanced, fulfilled. The eyes that look back at me are steady, but kind. The smile is soft, but unshakable. This self does not need the world's approval. This self has already found peace. I step inside. The world around me is simple, yet beautiful. A small home rests by a quiet stream, its roof kissed by sunlight, its walls alive with laughter. The air smells of earth after rain, fresh and grounding. The sky stretches wide, painted with the gentle hues of dawn. I see myself waking here, not rushing, not chasing, not panicked, but rising with ease, with purpose. I greet the morning with gratitude for breath, for light, for life itself. I move through this day with balance. Work is done, yes, but it is not frantic. It is steady, aligned with purpose, guided by joy rather than fear. Each action feels meaningful, no matter how small. Even washing a cup, even planting a seed, even listening to another. Everything carries weight, everything carries presence. I see myself sitting quietly in the evening, watching the sun descend behind mountains. There's no loneliness here, even in solitude, because I am at peace with myself. I am at home in my own heart. And I realize this version of me is not unreachable. It is not locked behind choices already lost. It is a reflection of what can be. A future not fixed, but possible. A seed already within me, waiting to grow. The guardian's voice returns, clear now, certain but gentle. Through choices, through courage, through presence. This is not another world. This is yours. It is within your reach, within your power, within your hands. Tears rise. Because I understand, finally, what the quantum mirror has been showing me all along. Not fantasies, not unreachable dreams, but possibilities. Reflections of paths I can still choose, lessons I can still carry, futures I can still create. The fulfilled self smiles at me, not with superiority, not with distance, but with recognition. A whisper passes through my soul. You are me, and I am you. What you see in me already lives within you. I place my hand against the mirror. Warmth flows into me, steady, strong, like sunlight pouring through my veins. And I feel it. Fulfillment is not waiting for some distant future. It is here. It begins now. The image fades, but the peace remains. The corridor dissolves. The mirrors vanish. And I am back. Back in the monastery, standing before the silent, ordinary glass. But I am not the same. I close my eyes, breathing deeply, and I let the lessons of every mirror settle within me. I carry the courage of the artist, the flame of love that endures, the vision of peace that is possible, the warning of darkness that still holds sparks of hope, and the serenity of the fulfilled self. I whisper softly to myself, to the universe, to anyone who might hear. Our lives are quantum stories, ever branching, ever expanding, and with each choice we paint the canvas of our destiny. The future is not fixed, it is infinite, and I am its painter. I take a long breath. I place my hand over my heart, and I let silence embrace me. The monastery fades, and in its place I see only light. Soft, endless, infinite light. I sit in this light, breathing slowly, gently, and I guide you, listener, through this same peace. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let go of yesterday. Let go of tomorrow. Be here. Now. You too stand in the corridor of mirrors. You too hold infinite versions of yourself. You too carry the power to choose. Perhaps you carry regrets. Perhaps you carry sorrow. But know this, those choices are not lost. They live in you as wisdom, as strength, as possibility. Perhaps you long for peace. Perhaps you fear the dark. But know this, peace is possible, and even in darkness, kindness survives. And perhaps, like me, you wonder if fulfillment is possible. The answer is yes. It is within you now. Breathe in and see yourself whole. Breathe out and know that you are enough. You are the artist of your own story, the musician of your own melody, the poet of your own dawn. You are the bearer of love that never dies, the seed of peace that grows with every kind act, the spark that lights even the darkest night. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are infinite, and you are free. I whisper one last time. The quantum mirror has shown us the truth, that every life, every choice, every possibility exists. But this moment, this life, is ours to live. Choose it with love. Choose it with courage. Choose it with hope. The light around me softens, fades into silence. But in my heart, its glow will never die, and I walk forward, into life, into choice, into the infinite.